Hey guys, just finished watching The Flash, Season 5, Episode 17, Time Bomb. Wow, what an episode. This episode was really interesting. So we start off this episode, we see Dawn telling XS, telling Nora to tell Barry everything because the timelines kind of, things didn't work out and a different version of Cicada showed up and stuff in the last episode. And we saw that at the end of the last episode that, he said she had to tell Barry everything. And then they find out that the new Cicada is Grace and stuff, so that was kind of interesting dealing with that. Although we got the reveal for that to the audience a while back. Last episode, you see Iris ends up hiring Camilla as a photographer. Camilla is Cisco's girlfriend currently, and I think that's going to be an interesting storyline to see as to where things kind of go with that. He doesn't really want to tell her too much about him being bi and all that stuff and being part of the team, and I think that's kind of an interesting storyline to see as to where things kind of go with their relationship. We see Vicky Bolton, who's just the girl in the episode who she ends up breaking into or blowing up, accidentally killing Grace's parents when she blows up a vending machine full of money, a bank machine and stuff. And that was an interesting scene, although I didn't really understand it because she said it was a complete accident and all that stuff. But yet, if we look at the footage when she went up to look at the, when she went up to the bank machine, why did she have a hood on, as if she was kind of, being suspicious, and all that stuff. It didn't make sense as to, if it was an accident, why was she dressed up like she was going to blow the machine up, like it was she was going to do something nefarious, She'd just been walking around, had her daily clothes on, just kind of, no hood, no nothing, It would have made more sense. She's just walking up to get some money, then all of a sudden she accidentally does stuff and she wasn't sure, and she kind of runs away. Her powers took off. She didn't want to get caught using her powers. But when she had the hoodie on and all that stuff, it was just, to me, it was kind of a bit silly. So it really didn't make sense to me, especially later on when they try to build this character up. And I like the idea of her character and having her character there. And she later on reveals her powers to her husband and her daughter and stuff. And I think that was an interesting idea, a different twist on the on someone with powers and stuff. Her daughter being scared of her, and then she ends up consoling her. And then we don't really see we see the father kind of her husband yelling at her, but we don't really see the outcome of that at the end. I think it was just an interesting storyline. I like the character a little bit for this episode. It was really good, but it just didn't make sense at the end when she revealed that she was an accident. They didn't mean to do anything like that. Why were you wearing a hood? Why were you doing it all as if you were going to rob the bank machine? It just kind of looked very silly, very suspicious. And anyone looking at that would have gone, yeah, of course that's suspicious. Just look at the way she's acting, right? So it was just kind of a bit silly to have that there. We see Grace Gibbons ended up killing Future Cicada, ended up killing Orlin. That was really an interesting. There was a really interesting there. It's gonna be cool to see where things go on with that. And we see Sherlock reveals that Nora is working with Dawn, and Barry puts Nora in the pipeline. I think that's an interesting storyline. I'm really excited to see as to where things go with Nora working with Dawn and stuff. The only thing is, it just pisses me off that we're doing it now at this point in the game. So we're episode 17 of 23. So we only have 6 episodes left now to really play with this, and that really kind of bothers me. It's just not enough. I would have loved to have had it way early on, like I said in the last episode, when they went inside of her mind and stuff. I think, what was the episode called? I think it was episode 12, Memorabilia. They went inside of Nora's consciousness, Nora's mind and stuff, and they teased it in the trailer, and then they never went anywhere with that reveal. And here at this point, I'm like, maybe they're gonna play with it, especially with Barry reacting as strongly as he did by putting her in the timeline right away and not even hearing anyone else's opinion. No one else. I only had time to probably even process it. He just put her straight in the pipeline because he could obviously process stuff at super speed, which also doesn't make sense in this episode because there's earlier on when when XS is running away from the dagger, she's talking to everyone on the comms, but it's like, that doesn't make sense. How fast is she going? She's moving at light speed or whatever, so fast that all we see is blurs and stuff, but yet, she's moving, but yet they're still able to hear her talk as she's going supersonic speed. So is she slowing her voices down and talking so that they can hear her in normal speed and not end up just hearing a blur of noise and stuff? And also, like, how fast can all this tech really track them? You know, it's something that they never really touch upon. Is there a point where this tech can't, you know, track it because it's just moving too fast? But yeah, the whole Nora Allen working for Thawne's storyline, I really wanted to play with that for a long time, and so I'm hoping that maybe we go into the next episode, the next season, maybe with this, keeping her in the time in the pipeline, keeping Barry's opinion, everyone's opinion of her, not sure if they can even trust her. And I think that could be a really interesting idea. The only thing that I'm worried about is usually they reveal something like this at this point in the episode, 6 episodes left, but then by the time the season ends, there's some big problem stuff, some life thing, some city, you know, world comes at stake, the city becomes at stake, someone's life is at stake, and then they have to trust her to save the day, end up trusting her, and everything's all good, and then things move on like it never happened. You know, and that's just kind of boring to me, because we've only played with this for like 6 episodes, or we'll play with this for like 3 episodes, and then in like we're episode 17, so like episode 20 or episode 21 maybe, we'll get, you know, they'll let her out and they'll have to trust her because she's the only one who can save the day type thing. And that's just going to be that's just annoying, because it falls into that same pattern when they do things like that, whereas I'd rather have her, maybe she gives a bit to something to help start to trust her, but it's a very early stone. I think that could be something interesting if she, you know, maybe she has, you know, if there's a bucket of trust, you know, and she puts one drop of water in a 10-gallon bucket, beginning to trust them. You know, I think that could be an interesting way, and building up momentum in this next season to eventually, by the end of that season or by the mid-season of their having to trust her and stuff. And I think that could be something interesting to see, because I'd like to see them go from here to have her not trusting her. Maybe she stays in the episode, she stays in here and there. They keep her in the pipeline to try and get information from her. She tries to slowly win over their trust. But I really want to have them not trust her for a very, very long time, or at least until from now until the mid-season of next season and stuff, or now until the crisis and stuff, and they may need to trust her for that, because they're probably going to need her help for whatever goes on with that. I think it'd be quite interesting to see as to where things go. So we'll have to wait and see as to where things go, but I'm hoping that she stays. No, they stay not trusting her until the next season, all the way into the next season and stuff. That would be really fun. But it looks like based on the trailer for next episode, Barry doesn't trust her, but it looks like Iris gives him that look that's like, oh, she's your daughter, you put her in the pipeline type thing. So if Barry's the only one that doesn't trust her, then he's just going to take her out. She's going to be out by the end of this season, you know. So I think it'd be quite interesting to see as to where things go with that. It also looks like she might be escaping from the pipeline, maybe breaking out somehow. Maybe that could really be interesting, and they could cement everyone else as not trusting her. Maybe Barry doesn't trust her already because it's Thawne. You can never trust anything. You know, how do they know it's really their daughter, right? How do they know it's not just someone who's programmed to think that they're their daughter by Thawne or something like that? It could be all kinds of things. You know, they don't have proof that it's actually their daughter. I mean, I think they're pretty sure, but still, you know, Thawne could easily have faked her, right? So we don't know that, or Barry doesn't know that for sure when it comes to Thawne. So I think that's going to be interesting to see as to where things kind of go with all that. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. Where do you think things are going with the relationship between Barry and Nora, and how long would you like to see this tension between the two of them and them not trusting Nora Allen? How long would you like to see that last? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes subscribing is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.